super excited to get out with a W. Obviously, didn't go according to plan in the first half. I give a lot of credit to Western Michigan. You know, I'm sitting watching college football today. They took North Texas to overtime last night. I think you saw the score. North Texas beat Washington State. I'm assuming pretty good. It was in the fourth quarter when I last watched, and a really good football team. Did a lot of good things. At halftime, we came in and kind of had some conversations about where we needed to go, and I thought our guys responded very, very well defensively. At the end of the half there to make that stop was huge, and then offensively I think we scored the next 3 times we had the ball. So what we got to do is find out how to get them rhythm in that first half. I grabbed Luke at the end of the game there and just said, hey, whatever we got to do, however we need to do it, make sure we get our, not just the players but the coaches, let's figure out what we need to do to be better in the first half. So I think injury-wise, I know Xavier, I think he just at the end, Melvin a little bit at the end, but I don't expect anything there. J-Bo, we did lose him in the first half there, so I don't know exactly where we're at with him. I do think Aiden Lawfrey and Dylan Rosiak, on Wednesday we ran them, they just weren't right where we needed to be, and then Thursday we kind of ruled them out. I do expect to have them back this week against Indiana in a Big Ten matchup game. We're super excited to get over there and see where we're at. With that, open it up. I just want to say thank you, Larry Geese. Had a lot of special memories over the last couple days. Just an awesome person that, it sounds crazy, right, to give $100 million, and that's obviously an awesome thing in itself, but what I've just been blown away is the things that he gives personally, right? His time, his mentorship with our players, his care, obviously says a lot of great things about Josh. I don't think that gift ever happens if it wasn't for Josh Whitman and his relationship with Larry Geese, and to have a $100 million jump on our stadium and everything else that Josh and his crew will put together just speaks volumes of where this program was at. I think to come out there at the start of the game and to know we're playing Western Michigan and to see the crowd the way it was and to see them respond was absolutely awesome. The great thing about being here right now is it's starting to be really good, but I think it's just scratching the surface how good it can be. So really excited about that moving forward, and thank you, Larry, for that opportunity. With that, open it up.
Coach, kind of the second week in a row where you flipped a switch at halftime. Is there something you can do this week in practice just to make sure you come out strong?
I think we got to learn from our opportunities. I'm going to take a glass half full rather than a glass half empty. The good news was we responded really well in the second half, and what was our stat, Brett? We're 80 to 9 in the second half. Obviously, we got to improve in the first half, but really excited about our growth at the halftime and what was that moment and how we responded to it.
What do you think it is that you guys found that gets you guys in a rhythm offensively?
Yeah, for sure. Offensively, there was just we were huddling a lot in the first half. I think to go to the line of scrimmage, it seemed we were playing with some tempo. There were some fast-paced things out there. I think that definitely was a big part of it. And then defensively, we kept coming up with the answers. So it was kind of 3 and outs. I know Hank had a nice punt return there that kind of seemed to get everybody going as well.
Luke looks like RPOs, he's really comfortable on what he's reading. Is that something you think you guys can continue to unlock with him or within your offense?
Yeah, I think a little bit you have to, take what the defense gives you. But on the same account, Luke's a really intelligent player. He's an accurate ball placer. I think he can do some things at the line of scrimmage once he's in rhythm. Luke is a rhythm guy, though, so I think that the key is to find that rhythm and stay with it. That could be just as important as the play call itself, in my opinion. But there was kind of a thing here, a thing there. It was a player here, it was a player there. Barry botched a call like I got after his ass a little bit, right? Like, hey, we need to, move forward, right? And the good news was there's a lot of chatter after the play. I want to have chatter about the play, right? And I thought we did a nice job of adjusting, making corrections in the second half, and obviously the results showed it.
Which play?
Huh?
Which play?
The 3rd and 1 call. Yeah.
Brett, you said on the radio that you thought Khalil grew up tonight. When we get it, he keeps just saying, I keep learning from Caden and Aiden.
Yeah.
What did you see tonight?
Yeah, Aiden Lawfrey today, or this week, I think Aiden probably knew he wasn't going to go as much as I was hoping he was going to go, and he just poured into him. The great thing that we got going in our locker room, and I told this to our guys, right, at halftime last week, I didn't know where we were going to go, right? I was hoping we were going to go in the right direction. Obviously, they came out and put the answers, but in the post-game presser, Brett always sends me a bunch of quotes from our guys, and just the things those guys said about their teammates, and it wasn't about me. I thought Hank Beatty had a question that allowed him to talk about him, and all he did is talk about the defense. Tanner Heckel got asked about making an interception and the plays he made, and all he said he wanted to do is get the ball back to give it to Luke, right? That's not made up. That's how they think. That's how they walk. That's how they talk. And those things are a lot of fun to coach. And obviously, I can't repeat what I said at halftime. I was probably as spirited as I've ever been as a head coach since I've been here at Illinois, just because I think I know what this team is potentially capable of doing. I slapped the board and my hand is still numb. I'm probably gonna have to get it checked out. It's it's infuriating when we're not at the ability or putting ourselves in a position to win football games, and that's the part we can't. This Indiana team is a really good football team, right? And we can't give away 2 quarters of football and expect to be in the contest at the end.
Aaron's talked about he doesn't care about yardage, just cares about points. How did a shutout come together?
Yeah. Well, I think midway through that third quarter, I was like, all right, we're playing with, obviously they're rolling both quarterbacks through. When 10 was in there, he's a different player. Lowry, number 12, has a little bit of spice to him. He definitely ran the ball, did some things. So I thought our defensive adjustments to him and what he did is really, really a good part of that. And we just didn't give up the big plays, right? Just got guys down, got a little bit more aggressive, I think, on third down, and the results were where it's at. I think it just kind of played out, and then definitely in the end, midway through the fourth quarter, the guys on the sideline were talking about it, and we started playing guys through there a little bit. Some more bodies, some more players. Good to see Grant Bierman. I'm telling you, I've been in this game a long time. I've coached inside backers my whole career. Grant Bierman is probably one of the most talented linebackers I've ever signed, and he didn't get in until here in game 3, and it was with some other guys that were injured. I think it really speaks highly of the volume of our depth that we have and the players that we're able to recruit right now.
Brett, how important is it for you guys, for you even through a 3-0 start, to say, hey, we need to do better going into the stretch of games you have coming up here?
Well, I think I can say it, but it's really what they want to believe, and I think our guys. There was a lot of frustrated guys at halftime that knew they could do better, and they obviously took ownership in that. I mean, I can't ask for a better response out of my coaches, our players, and our fans, right? Like, I've been a lot of places where, even the fans will begin to go sideways, right? And it was just encouragement, a lot of energy in that stadium in that second half when things began to flip the other way, and I think that's what propelled us to where we are.
Feels like a bit of boiled frustration from you, but what specifically needs to change for you to feel confident about the first halves?
Well, none of that changed for me, dude. I'm confident as hell. It's just we got to be able to perform that way, right? Like, I know I've got the best group of coaches I've ever had. I've had as deep a roster as I've ever had, and got a lot of good players all around. We just got to put them in the right positions. I think sometimes we can overthink the moment. I don't want to hear that, hey, it's my fault on this one, or it's my fault, and I want to have these problems proactively solved, right? And I don't want to see them reactively solved on the field, right? So a lot of really good dialogue, and I think tomorrow's going to be a really big day. We'll put this game to bed and jump into our Indiana preparation. We were already able to get to jump on that last spring and this fall during camp, but really excited to put it in motion this week.
Coach Ashton Holland.
Offensive adjustments in the second half. You talked about rhythm. I guess my question was, is there some aspects like run blocking or passing or those kind of things that you want to see improved? Or when you're talking about, is it like?
No, I think we were self-destructive. I mean, I'm not taking anything. Western Michigan's a really good football team, but we have a false start. We have a guy miss a corner pressure. We have a guy run up the middle. There's a lot of things. There wasn't one thing. Fundamentals win games. I get it, but it just seemed like we were one off on several different occasions, which kept putting us behind. We were playing in second and longs, third and longs, which is never good for us.
Ashton Holland showing you something in practice where you say, well, maybe this is a guy that can help us and make some plays?
No, Ashton Hollins has shown us what he's been able to do since he got here. He just took advantage of the opportunity today. Those are 2 great routes back to back. I think Luke has always had a connection with him. Sometimes see it in practice, but then when J-Bo's been coming along really nice. I don't know how big his injury is, but then Malik got in there. But then when we rolled Colin Dixon over there to X as well, and then when Colin was over at Z to roll Ashton in there, and there was one time I think Ashton and him were both in there at the same time with Kapka, so there was a lot of guys rolling through there. But bottom line, scored a lot of points, got a W, looks good from everybody on the outside world. We'll see where we're at injury-wise on Monday and go from there.
Last one.
Kate, you talked about Khalil had a moment at Duke that you thought was kind of that moment.
Yeah.
Was tonight similar for Caden to get going a little bit? He seems like a guy who, after a couple games, really just rhythm.
Yeah, once I knew Aiden wasn't going, we kind of knew offensively he was going to carry the workload, and there's a little moment in pregame where we go to team, and I always, in my career, I've always grabbed the running back when he runs that play, and I just grabbed him and I said, today's your day. I think today will be a day we look back on, and you feel that you could put the team on your back, and it's kind of ironically how it happened in that third and fourth quarter. And Khalil comes in there and has a nice change of pace, but Caden Fagan, I thought this week began to show some things that you'd seen him kind of get close. There was a play last week where he could have just pulled his leg through, and then today there were several of those I thought he did, and then he just listen, you got a business decision when you're going to make a tackle on him, right? Like, you don't know if you're going to go high or low or jump on his back or fall down, but he's a really big, powerful back with a lot of great attitude and really good upside.
Thank you, guys.